It's a little bit on the slick side. We're waking up to a nice little flurry of snow out here in Ohio, and I've gotten some comments which I think I may need to take heed of in terms of a little bit of a Mustang modification. Nothing too crazy either. It was funny. I texted the Trend twins, were the first guys I told that I was going to upgrade the Camry. So I sent them a picture, and the first thing one of them says, he says, "Like, are you going to swap the exhaust?" I think it was the first thing Mike said. And no, and I'm keeping this thing freaking stock. I'm not into it that much, in the sense of like just messing around and like causing problems or voiding your warranty. But I have seen a lot of comments from guys saying that they'd recommend putting snow tires on the back, and then I guess on the front wouldn't hurt, but probably more important back there, and then throwing some 45-pound plates too, just in the little in the empty tire bay of the trunk, so you get a little bit extra downforce. And this is just kind of a Mustang thing in general, but a pretty good chunk of beef, very front heavy. You know, I mean, I didn't. Now I kind of look at it in a different way. Every time I see like a takeover video or a dude trying to spin his shit out and then he crashes, the Mustang's a little infamous. Same with the Hellcat, same with the Charger. Or is the Hellcat a Charger? Hellcat and the Challenger. That's what I'm thinking of. That's like the trifecta of tomfoolery when it comes to car meetups or whatever else. I never see anybody crash a Corvette. I never see anybody driving a Corvette and think, okay, you know what, maybe I should do donuts in the middle of this downtown intersection with everybody jumping around and crashing into my stuff. I don't see that as much, you know. But just something I'm going to keep in mind, because it's pretty slick, you know. This is like 0.001% of Dorian Yates trudging through the snow to get to the gym in Birmingham is driving to the gym and just being careful that you don't spin out. But plan for today is just some hamstrings, a little bit of hamstring action, nothing too crazy. So I'm going to kind of make it a combo of hamstrings and calves. So I've been skipping calves for a while, and kind of just because for me, calves are good. They're not like an insane strong point, but they're not a weak point either. And I was actually a little bit concerned because in classic, at least, hypothetically, if I get big enough, I'll reach the pro weight cap, which is 227. Right now, morning weight this morning was 231, and that's a little bit extra fed. I've been eating a little bit of extra food the last couple of days because I don't need to come in peeled a month out of the show. I've got time to adjust, which was exactly the plan. So I think in terms of the prep execution, things are going quite well. But so that means I got to eat a little bit of extra food. Like I went to bed with a full stomach. I'm talking like a ton of extra ground beef with some buffalo sauce and a little bit of like American cheese slices. There's no performance benefit of those. I just like them. So I've had a pack in the fridge like this whole time, and I only just now opened it up to to have a couple of pieces. But yeah, I went to bed like feeling pretty like, oh man, I fucking ate too much. But I still woke up the exact same weight as yesterday, so I'm freaking golden, you know. But so a little bit more fed, and today I'm going to do hams and calves. So basically, just in between every set of hamstrings, I'll do a set of calves as well to kind of balance them out. So nothing crazy, nothing like leg press with 10 plates on the side, single leg, super heavy calf raises. Even just body weight stuff. Like I might just do 25 reps on the right leg, 25 reps on the left, just with body weight. Holy shit. This is crazy. And just kind of get them pumped up like that. And especially now too, dieting, I don't need to absolutely obliterate my calves, and also they're kind of just as big as I need them to be, you know. But getting back to that weight cap discussion I was just talking about a minute ago, what if my calves were double size? What if my calves literally each had an extra 3 pounds of muscle on them both? and I'm not saying combined, I mean like 3 pounds on the right, 3 on the left. That's 6 pounds of calves. And if I'm in a weight limited competition, or at least that's kind of like the constraint that I might have to think about, well, I don't want to park a bunch of muscle right in my calves, you know? So they're kind of a thing where if they're big enough for you, you're kind of good. They do get worked just from walking around. Like if you've ever seen the guys, and these guys just have genetic calves, but when you see dudes walking around with massive calves, even if they're not like in the most in shape, or the fact that they just walk around and they're constantly using them, your calves aren't really going to shrink if you back off on your calf training. You know, same with your abs. Once you've got them, the amount that you use them as like stabilizing muscles for all other movements, and then odds are you're probably flexing them in the mirror every so often. You know, they're just not going anywhere. You know, hamstrings a little bit, not so much. If you stop hitting your hamstrings, I think you're going to suffer some hamstring atrophy, almost 100%. You know, but it'll be a little more chill. Nothing too crazy. So laying curls, seated curls. Actually, yeah, that's really just going to be it. Laying curls and seated curls. So I think it won't be the longest lift. That might only take me like 30-40 minutes for the whole thing. You know, 6 sets of probably 6, maybe one more set of hamstring curls, and then the same amount of calves. So pumped up, hams and calves will look kind of cool, but quads are still probably going to steal the show, just because the leaner that I get, the cooler that my quads end up looking, you know, to a pretty like massive freaking degree, even unpumped. So what's making me excited right now is knowing, like, before I'm taking a shower or anything, and I'm actually getting a very just straight up look at myself, no pump, no anything, like just regular normal lighting. Dude, I'm feeling like my legs are thinning out in a good way. I'm talking like my glutes, the amount of just separation, of like the tie-in of quads to hams and everything. Like, yeah, we're about right. So going forward, I think I've had enough of this little like couple days of a few hundred extra calories each day. So now I'm going to kind of get back on my downward trajectory. This is sort of a couple days of just a little bit of maintenance, which I'm going to throw in every so often so I don't overdo it too soon. But yeah, I'm thinking by so what's today, the 19th? Yeah, mid-February, we're going to be just about there. And then any other changes after that will be minuscule at best, and ideally minuscule at worst, and, you know, just marginally positive at best, you know. So it's that's one thing that I've kind of never understood about these guys when they're talking about you know, bodybuilding shows and competitions, and they're trying to hype it up. They're hyping up the effort, they're hyping up the competitiveness of it. They're hyping up like, yeah, man, I'm gonna come in there, I'm gonna blow your freaking socks off, you know, or whatever they're saying. And sometimes it comes off a little disconnected from reality to me. Like, even just as a bodybuilding viewer, if I'm listening to guys talk, I'm talking Olympia caliber guys, where they're talking about how they're gonna do and like what they're gonna bring, and you know, a lot of them end up coming in with like the like a LeBron James, like, man, I'm the best, I'm coming in the best, I don't care about any of these guys, I'm taking this shit home, good, like things like that. And I hear that and I'm like, well, shouldn't you talk about that mentality like 5 months ago? Like, that should be how you felt like a year ago, doing starting an off season before a diet. Like, it's 1 month out from the show, you're done. You've already done everything. Like, for the most part, bodybuilding shows have the results of the Arnold, the classic division at least. You know, obviously there's still 2 months left, a month and like a little more than 6 weeks, 6.5 weeks left. So obviously it's still in the air of like, okay, everyone who's competing still has to finish their prep, they still have to finish dieting, they've got to dial in their water and carb up. So that's kind of in the air. But assuming that goes well for everyone, which these guys are all fucking professionals with tenure, like they've been competitive pros for a long time, they know what they're doing, you know? So it's kind of already been decided in that sense, you know? So I've always kind of liked listening to dudes where they show up at an Olympia panel and they're talking about the competition and how they feel about it. And I like when they've got a little more, not even like respect, but just like a little more of an understanding of like, yeah, man, you know, I know everybody here is going to bring it. I'm going to bring it too. We're going to see what happens. You know, because that's all you can do. This isn't a freaking this isn't an MMA match, right? There's no last minute clutch. Just because you hit a side chest and maybe you posed much better than you did the night before or the prejudging before, it's just not going to change it, you know. So it's that's where I'm getting like extra excited, or maybe not excited is the word I'm thinking of, but I'm trying to put more. Not even pressure, because I feel very confident that I'm going to get in really good shape for me. But relatively, I'd say I'm feeling the pressure now because I'm in the process of doing it. Like the week of the show, or at least even the week of those first 2 shows that I did, the Legends Classic and the Arnold Amateur, like that last week, you're done. You did everything you could. There's nothing you can really change. Now you just get to enjoy it and kind of have fun. So that's how I want to feel. Like come end of February, come last couple of days of February, I want to be coming in, hitting a lightish lift. You know, I'm not going to imagine I rip my pec off or something the week before. That'd be terrible. Don't even think about it. But I want to be coming in the gym thinking, nice, I did it. Now I just get to enjoy the end of it, right? Like as much of it as it's a bodybuilding competition, I'm more excited about the fact that it's a bodybuilding show, and it's just going to be freaking fun. So if you, I guess that's the only thing I could ask. If you're going to show up and you're showing up because I'm going to be there, just go totally wild. Like I'm talking fucking swing shirts around. That would be awesome. But it's to condense that, I'm very excited about the Arnold come 2026. So I think nothing else to talk about. How about we just get some hamstrings started, and then we can have a little post-lift discussion. I'm going to go home for cardio today because I'm just going to do the bike. I haven't done it yet, but I need to get tennis shoes if I'm going to keep doing the treadmill for cardio, because Converse are not cutting it. Especially now that I'm getting leaner too. Like I can feel my feet are getting sore from so much walking, you know. And I'm not even running, but just like that much walking is kind of getting to me. So I'm just gonna go home to the basement and pedal, and then then we'll just get ready for whatever's next. But that's for later. Let's just go get this lift started. All right, it's hard to go wrong with a light-ish squeezing set of laying curls. And when I say light, I mean light. Yeah, it's about right. So 70 pounds out of the 150 available on the stack. This is quite the hefty laying curl, which is what I want. I'd rather every machine have a stack that's so heavy I can't even get close to halfway. But that would kind of be, might be an unreasonable amount of steel. But let's get started. I'll just do the calves on my own. We'll do a little full-on pump check right at the end. But that's no surprise. Come on. Oh my God. Ooh, yeah. Let's spam those. Let's freaking spam those for a little while. Oh, okay. Yeah, a few more. Okay. Sorry for the repetitiveness, but I'm just going to keep doing these until hamstrings are fully cooked. Ooh. All right, 90. Let's do 80. Let's do 80 for the next one. And we're getting close. Hamstrings don't take as much for me to get them going, especially when I'm diving down. Okay, yeah, let's see how we're looking. And if I can get the camera angle right, it should look pretty freaking nuts. But let's go check it out. All right, just about there. I think we're, yeah, there we go. Now we're cooking with freaking gas. But yeah, no, hamstrings. I'm feeling them. They're certainly cooked. And typically, I'm gonna say a hamstring pump on the more mid side of things when it comes to like how it makes your legs look, because your hamstrings don't they're a muscle that has a lot of interesting grain to them, so when they get pumped it kind of takes away from that grain because it like gets swollen up. But well, now I'm distracting myself with my quads. Okay, am I nuts? Or is this the craziest just posted up stance that I've ever had? Oh geez, yeah. Let's start with quads. I can't help myself now. Now this is with a little bit of a calf pump as well, so you know it's got a little extra something. But this is what I'm talking about. Let me see. Let me do this just a little there. All right. Yeah, so look. Oh man, can I get the right angle? Yeah, it's kind of tricky. Yeah, there it is. See? So that's a freaking hamstring with some cuts in it. Holy crap. So you can actually see different fibers of my hamstring. It's not just one blob. Like there's actually freaking stuff going on back there. Oh, this is crazy for me. Oh, I feel like I can barely even flex this one. But same thing. See, let me try to, it's kind of weird for me to see it myself backward. But like all these little fucking like lines and tears or whatever, that is sick. So let me try to do like a little something like this. Oh man. Yeah, that's what I freaking call a pair of legs for me. So I'm a little bit more full, but not really. You know, I 231 this morning, and then I still went to the bathroom when I got to the gym. So really, I'm even lighter than 231. So for those concerned, Sam, are you getting too lean too early? Are you peaking before your time and you're gonna call it? I would not say so, man. You know, I'm easing into it. I'm having some proper refeeds and, you know, calorie intake in between. And, well, you be the judge. Do I look like I'm coming in off so far? There we go. Yeah, right there. Oh, this is freaking crazy. So yeah, honestly, I feel like my quads look wilder here than they do when they're pumped up, because when they're pumped, they lose this like kind of flexible looseness, and then the grain that gets revealed when you actually really flex them hard. But yeah, these are not quads that were built off of just the light leg extension workouts that I've been doing. Like, this is basically a reveal of what's been going on underneath my skin and fat layer from the super heavy Smith squats and barbell squats and leg press that I've been doing this whole off season. And now I get to reveal it. But shit, man, I mean, like, so for context, I feel like right now, if I did the same carb depletion water cut prep that I did for the Arnold Amateur, and like I went against myself in the past, the stage look would be absolutely not incomparable, but extremely different. And I'm not even done. I'm not even freaking done, man. We got weeks to improve as well. So, you know, in terms of, I'll keep saying this every so often, but in terms of placings, literally the last thing on my mind. This is my first really big show anyway. I'm just concerned with making sure that I bring it, you know, and I really am, well, I'm getting more and more confident that I'm going to. Let me do a little breath hold for this left leg, and then we can get ready to freaking scram. Yo. Oh my gosh. All right, this is an awesome feeling. So the discomfort of not being able to eat a bunch of junk food and sweets and, you know, doing all my cardio. Yeah, this is what it's all for. This is what it's all freaking for, right here beneath the hips. Nice. I might do an extra 15 minutes of cardio just because I'm freaking excited. But let's get in the car. Shit. It was like a freaking, I mean, not a blizzard because there's not a ton of snow, but it was blowing hard this morning. There's a sign that's like just flopping around because half of it, actually I don't know what's up with that sign, but either way, that was a crazy freaking pose down. That was a really cool looking freaking check-in if if I'm any judge of it, which you'd think I would be for me because I'm the one who sees myself the most out of anybody in the world. I've seen looked at myself in the mirror and everything more, and it was probably a little bit more focused too, because you're always like hypersensitive to any changes in your own build. You know, that's just kind of part of the deal. So I like to think that I'm not too dysmorphic about it. I'm sure I am. There's no way you go 230 lean without being a little bit kind of, you know, having an altered perception or something. But for the most part, shit, man, I just feel like that's the result of everything that's been going on. You know, I've been doing months of freaking calorie control and cardio. It would make sense that I'd be starting to feel pretty freaking, pretty freaking freaky. But yeah, that was cool. That's gonna look cool on the computer too, on the freaking big screen, all spliced up together. I got these little fancy spotlights. They're called gobos. They're these little like metal kind of patterns that kind of get the light on the wall. I thought those looked kind of cool. But no, man, shit, I'm just a happy camper. You know, I could not be more pleased right now. And I can't, like, this was the plan, was to start this diet a bit earlier, give myself time to ease into the show, because last year I really kind of had to cram. So this same time last year, I was like, I mean, stressing, not like stressed out, but I was very concerned, like, okay, am I going to be able to make it in time? Okay, I got to do more cardio. I got to do, it's just, whereas this time feels like I'm kind of coasting in right on schedule, right? I pulled up to the airport, went through security, bags checked without getting scanned. Sometimes with the camera stuff, they'll take your whole bag apart and like swab it with this little drug testing kind of thing. I guess people hide stuff in camera lenses. And then I get at the gate and the plane's boarding instantly. Didn't even have to rush it. Things. That's how I feel. That's a little visual. I'm making a lot of plane references in my mind of how I'm feeling right now. Just cruising along, right? Just easing into it. So that's not. I don't want to, in my own mind, like let that be a sign to back off and like let that be a sign to chill and take it easy. But I am definitely using that kind of as this sign of like, all right, man, shit's been working. If it's been working, keep doing it. You know, ba-boom, just keep kind of rolling it forward. So that's kind of how I'm feeling. But yeah, I lied. I actually am going to go to Planet Fitness for cardio. I'm not going to do it at home, just because it's more fun when there's people around. Like cardio, really, the time passes much quicker when there's just stuff going on. That's one thing that was kind of cool about. I went to this gym in New York. It was a Crunch Fitness, but it was like just on the. You know, it's not the Strip in New York. I don't know. It was just downtown New York, or whatever part that it was in, and it was really big. It was on the second floor, so there were huge floor-to-ceiling windows. And I'm looking out, and I'm just like, everybody's in there busy, because also it's like the city, so everybody's got shit to do. Tons of quarter zips with like the nylon vests, like that sort of look. It's like you feed off of that energy, you know. I'm not one to like get all like highly like karmic or just whatever, but I really do think whatever your surroundings are like, you yourself are going to kind of mold to, you know. So if you're always just catching yourself chilling at home in your room, like you've got free time and you're just like, I just want to sit and do nothing, you know, sometimes you need some me time, of course, but shit, man, you got to get out there. You got to go do, like, just freaking move, you know. It's just a little more fun. So that's my reasoning for taking the extra, probably net 20 minutes to go to the Planet Fitness down the street or across town from my gym. Is just the fun of being around everybody for cardio makes it worth it for me. That is for freaking sure. But yeah, it's the 19th. So that's what I got. Let's see, I've got the tracker on my phone. 47 days. 40 freaking 7 more days until the Arnold Classic. I'd say 40 more days of any kind of changes to be made. 7 days of just coasting in and, you know, making sure I got my routine ready. I haven't picked my song yet. I got to pick the song first and then kind of build the routine off of the song. To do it the other way around wouldn't make any freaking sense, you know, because you want to kind of have some flow with your music. And I don't worry, there is going to be some practice for that for sure. I do want to look the part. Some of these guys, even top level like Olympia guys, they some of them don't even care about the posing routine. Like, you know, I'm no Terrence Ruffin, who I'd say seeing in person posing in competition, really good. Like, he knows what he's doing. He's got his fucking footwork, everything. Like, I don't think I'm going to be so artsy about it, but also that's just kind of because that doesn't really match me. Like, I feel like I'm a little more just brolic and basic. But if you've never done a show before and you're thinking about it and you got to do a routine, it's definitely going to help to talk to a posing coach, or at least somebody else who's bodybuilded before or competed in bodybuilding before, just because they've got a bit more experience. But just try to do a little something in between your poses. You know, if you're doing a side chest into an Arnold pose, do a little something, do a little hand spin, maybe do a little like kind of reach around over your head and just like, I don't know, just anything. It makes it more fun because these guys, I've seen it, they just kind of walk out and they hit a lat spread and then they turn to the left and they hit a side chest and then they turn around and they hit a back double bicep, and there's no flow to it. If you're a Ronnie Coleman and you're walking on stage a literal monolith of muscle, well then yeah, you probably don't have to get too crazy with your posing. Just being there is the crazy part. But nobody's coming out in classic with that same kind of freak factor, I don't think, compared to the open guys at least. So I think it's a little more important to just come up with something, so don't stress it too much if that's you, if you're thinking about it, but do put a little effort into it, right? And what I ended up doing, and I'm sure I'll do it this time, is of course I'm going to practice it and make sure I can hold my stuff and make sure I really pull my lats out so when and suck down my shoulders so I'm as wide as I can be. But what I really want to do is just be able to visualize the routine to the music, because then I can download the little file, just hit play a bunch of times in a row, like 1 minute, and in my mind think, okay, I'm going to start with one of these and turn into this and do all sorts of stuff. And once you can visualize it and you've got it in your mind, like, okay, I know exactly what I'm going to do, you can really like do visualization practice, and just from thinking about it over and over again and kind of repeating it in your mind, imagining what your poses are going to be, it's going to make you more comfortable to do them. So some things you don't always have to actually physically do it to get the practice of, or at least to get it ingrained in your memory. Just kind of like thinking about it and visualizing it definitely helps. But yeah, that's all I got today. I'm really excited to get home and edit this whole thing together. I want to see what that leg day looked like on the freaking computer screen. But yeah, 47 days out. I'm very happy with that update for sure. I don't want to get repetitive, but I think that's going to be a common theme of the next few weeks, is me just coming into the gym, getting a decent pump. Like the lift isn't even going to be crazy. Like I'm not doing 4-plate bench. I'm not doing 6-plate squats or anything anymore, or at least right now. In the future, we'll see what happens. But just going to be getting a pump, getting in some cool lighting and saying, holy shoot, we're getting lean, which is implied, but it's still cool to do it. So I'm gonna get my cardio finished, and then I'll see you tomorrow for whatever freaking tomorrow brings. I might change it up, and honestly, a rest day's not off the table. I think I should start throwing in some rest days so I don't overdo it in terms of fatigue. But I don't know. It's like I want to somehow know exactly when a rest day is 100% necessary, versus having to get myself into a really fatigued state to know I should take one. Because ideally I would take one exactly when I need it, but it's hard for me to do it if I don't feel like I need it. If I feel well rested, I just want to hit it. So just we'll see. I'll work on it. Either way, what I've been doing so far has been working, so no need to change it up too much. Just little minor improvements over time will continue to add up, I think. But yeah, that's all I got. So I'll see you tomorrow.